Hello YouTube, this is Peanut Butter from RGP again, and I'm here with that automatic building slash building fixer thing. Um, so yeah, what you're going to need for this is a lot of pistons. You're going to need some dirt, some repeaters, some redstone, water, and lava, and a couple of levers. If you're playing this in regular mode, you're going to need 4, 4, and 4, or 5. So, first thing you're going to need to do is you need to break open the ground. So you need to cut it 10 by 10. That's what we're going to do today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 6, 7, 8. I think that's 10. I'm not sure. I suck at counting. Yeah, 2 by 8. Yeah, that's 10. Okay. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Copy this across. One more. Nope, one more. Bam. Okay, so you're going to place all of these in. Yada, 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 yada. And once you get all these in, you're going to want to clear out your center of it, because that's where all your redstone wiring is going to go, and your repeaters, and all sorts of cool stuff like that. And for this video, you'll realize we're using two different types of repeater currents. They're the same exact thing pretty much, but one's faster than the other one and one's slower than the other one, and you're going to need one over the other. So this does take a little bit of trial and error, I guess you could say, sometimes, because sometimes it just doesn't want to work, and other times it'll just work like a breeze. So, and then it'll also, how to explain this? I said it would be auto repair, and it will, but you don't have to make it auto repair. If you don't feel like covering up the wiring, you don't have to. The auto repair is optional. I took it out of the one that I built, that I'll be showing you guys at the end of the video, to show you what you can do to make it a little bit more homey, because the 10 by 10 isn't really as good as the 20 by 20 I'll be showing you guys how to do later. So I'm going to have to scoot this up one, but anyways, you're going to have to make a repeater current, and a lot of you probably already know how to do this, but you need to make two pointing at the back of each other and set them to 4. And you're going to take redstone and run it from the front all the way behind it to the back, like that, and that's your repeater current. And then you're going to set these on all of them except for the inner 3, because you'll get those last. You may not ever get this back corner. You're going to have to probably fill that in by hand unless you feel like wiring it. I don't, so I fill it in by hand. I usually put something different in there, like in the one that I built. I put them into, I think I put glass in the corner, the 3 corners, instead of filling them in, and it actually looked really good. So it's pretty interesting. So now you want to just connect all your repeaters in the circle together by redstone wire. I'm going to try to make this as simple and easy as I can for you guys, because I hate complicated stuff. Complications are a drag. So you're going to put this here, and you're going to quickly flip it. And look, your repeater current's going, and there goes all your pistons. Alright. And so, now you're going to want to start making the thing that's going to supply your house with water and stuff. So you're going to make one straight on it, pointing one way, You're going to make the other 2 blocks out. And you're going to pretty much make a cobblestone generator, which is what's going to fill up your house automatically. So, like so. And then you're going to need 2 wide for lava. You need 8 wide for water. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is going to be where the back of it goes. So you can make this out of anything. It's cheaper to make it out of dirt because dirt is cheap. So you put the water there and the water goes through and it hits that block and you break the block and bam, there you go. And then what you gotta do after that is you hook your machine up. Dang it, wrong one. You hook your machine up by going out 1 block, so you don't have to place another repeater. You might have to place a repeater again later anyways, but yeah, just for the sake of it, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna go like this. Alright, so those are hooked up and those are all good to go. And so here's the other repeater current. You have to use a slower repeater current for the cobblestone generator because it takes longer it's more complicated for the cobblestone to do work than it is for the pistons, because it has to go on a 3 in order to make cobblestone. So we're going to turn that on here in a little bit, and we're just going to set up the rest of these. So right here, since that's the end of this one, we're going to put a block there, and then we're going to go up to and place one on the 3rd. And then we're going to put the lava here and water there. And so I would cut this out if I knew how to edit, so I'm just gonna do this on the video. But pretty much after you set that all up, it's just gonna go automatically, pretty much very smoothly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just stick it like that and go wee. Alright, water in the 8. Kaboom. Headshot. And lava over here. And then we're going to wire our redstone up like so. Like that. And then we're going to hook it up to our repeater current. 2, 3, back 1. It doesn't matter if it's touching or not, it's just I'd prefer it not to be adjacent right away. I'd like to at least run a cord out to it so that way I know it's working properly because of that, how it has to go back and whatever not. You don't have to do it that way, it's just the way I do it. Make sure, when you're doing these, make sure they're all set to 4 because it'll break the current otherwise. Like, your repeater currents will be like, screw that and break. And it's not fun. So, 1, 2, 3, like so. And you guys are probably thinking, well, now this is probably more complicated than building a house by hand. Sometimes, yes. I preferred doing it this way just for the fact that if you get rid of all the wiring and stuff and you don't want to keep it, you can. It's just like, think about it this way. Every time I build, and I know a lot of you people have this problem too, I run out of material. And then you have to go back, you have to get more material, then you have to climb all the way back up, you know. This way, the only material you really need is your... Also make sure you get rid of that dirt block. I know I neglect to do that over here. you want to make sure it's cobblestone, so when you start the machine, the cobblestone's working. So, but, you know, it's just, I don't even remember what I was talking about. Yeah, I ran out of supplies, and it's just, I find this so much easier, and it does it a whole lot faster once you get it all set up than it does if you do it by hand. Because when I do it by hand, it just takes forever. But when I do it like this, it's just like boom, done, boom, done, boom, boom, boom. And it's so much just more streamlined, I guess you could say. And then you could take time to just decorate the pathway, you know, decor your path, and it works so much better. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if you do it right, they should all come together like this. You see how it all came together perfectly? See, the other one I didn't do exactly 100% right, as it was my first time really doing a 10 by 10. The first time I built one of these, it was a 20 by 20. And even though 10 by 10 is easier, I found it harder to do it than a 20 by 20 because 20 by 20 is more complicated wiring than the 10 by 10. So it's a little bit different because you have to use two different repeater currents for a 20 by 20 than you do by a 10 by 10. And it's quite, and I don't mean like two different repeater currents like this, I mean like on the inside, you have to do two separate currents. Just so that way you can get the pistons running correctly, and then you have your other currents. So the 20 by 20 is just a tad bit more complicated than your 10 by 10. But you master 10 by 10, you'll get the 20 by 20 without a problem. So, alright. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start the cobblestone generators up. And those should start pushing cobblestone out. Oh, yes, you do want repeaters here, because the repeaters here staggered. See, you want it staggered. You don't want these running at the same rate. So make sure, I forgot about that. So if you guys have already started making this and whatever not, and you're like, what an idiot, I already placed redstone there, just replace it with the repeater current, or with a repeater, because the repeater staggers your redstone and whatever not, and it makes it so much easier to work. So throw your repeater down to throw down the gauntlet, to beard the lion, to rule the roost. Stupid English class. Alright, and then pretty much you just gotta, I didn't even hook a repeater current up to this one. Wow, I feel really stupid. You guys probably sitting there thinking you should. Yep. Okay, like so. Set it to 4, set it to 4, set it to 4. Wire it around. Bam. And then bam. And so it'll start building. And eventually it'll get all of that finished. And so, yeah. And what you're going to have to do is, if you're going to keep it auto build, don't let it build one of the corners yet so you can put your door in. Like, only let it build one side, because otherwise it'll like ruin your life, I swear. But as you can see, it's starting to automatically build itself up. And this video is getting a little long. I'll split it into part 2 when this is done, and I'll show you what to do with the corners. So look forward to